In a wild and unpredictable college football season, this has become the one predictable thing. Nebraska, regardless of who they play, seem to come up with one-score losses across the board. So here we are following another Nebraska loss, this time at home, taking on Purdue, losing 28-23. They had a touchdown lead in the first half, scored late to give themselves a chance with an onside kick that seemed to be right there for the taking on the ground, but the officials ruled that Purdue got the football, and the Boilers hang on to win 28-23. So the Huskers fall to 1-5 in the Big Ten, 3-6 overall, falling again 28-23. We got Chris Wall on the line. You guys should know him, who join us on our post-game show on a regular basis, and you can join Chris on Twitter at Husker Hype. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, back at it again. Another week, same deal. Man, it was really close at the end. I thought Cam could have fell on that ball and had that onside, but then just would have, I guess, probably set ourselves up for another heart ripper outer there at the end. But I mean, man, another one-score loss. I almost didn't want them to score again at the end because I just didn't want to talk more about these one-score losses. But yeah, 0-6 this year on one-score losses. I think now Frost is to 5-18 in his tenure in one-score losses. So just I personally think it's all stemming from the offense and not being able to put up points. I mean, besides that garbage time touchdown there at the end, Nebraska was shut out in the second half. They scored 17 points and they were pretty much virtually shut out in the second half. Martinez threw 4 interceptions. The third one probably shouldn't have been an interception. Allen kind of coughed it up, but just some terrible decisions from Martinez today, and I feel bad for him. But I don't think that he can be the answer moving forward the rest of the year. And at this point, 3-9 is a reasonable expectation now for Nebraska to probably maybe not win another game. So bowl eligibility is probably out of the picture. So at this point, I mean, in my eyes, you probably give the backup Logan Smothers the start at least versus Ohio State, because I'm decently optimistic as a Nebraska fan, but we're not going to beat Ohio State. So, man, it was rough watching the offense today. Just abysmal, nothing to lean on, and just, yeah, coming up short again.
I guess if nothing else, Chris, the silver lining could be that the Ohio State game might be the end of the one-score losses. That might be the one thing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hit on a good point here with Adrian Martinez, because he goes out there, he gives it his all. When he's at his best, he's really good. He's probably a top 15 to 20 quarterback in the country when he's at his best. But when you add it all up, just too many mistakes, and that's what's marked his career. And 4 picks, as you mentioned, probably 3 his fault. And my thought would be, Chris, if you feel as though Logan Smothers has the potential to be the starting quarterback going forward, then I completely agree with you. There's really nothing to play for. Scott Frost is possibly playing for his job, but in terms of for the good of the program, the good of the team in 2022, it's to prepare another quarterback for to lead this football team and to get him in against really good competition the last 3 games. And if you're 3-9, what's the difference between 3-9 and, you know, they stand at 3-6 right now? They could make a bowl game. What is it? They've got Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio State. Yeah, they got 3 of the best teams in the conference. Yeah. We knew that the stretch drive was going to be brutal.
Right. So, I mean, it's hard to say, you know, at the end of what could be Martinez's career that he should sit these last few games. It's very tough to say that. And he's been sensational. He's made great plays, but today was just, there was a pick 6 that he threw right to the defender. That was terrible. There was a shuffle pass that he threw to the defender. He missed the open throw to Toure before half it might have been able to be caught, but still could have been a better thrown ball. So he missed a wide open touchdown. I mean, so that's on him, probably 14, 21 points just on him alone. And then just another play that was just really rough, really extremely frustrating for me to watch, even more than some of the picks was. It was we had a really nice first down run. It was 2nd and 1. Martinez dropped back, had plenty of time, and took a sack for a loss of 4 on 2nd and 1. And you absolutely cannot do that. And then it was 3rd and 4, and we didn't convert, and then we were punting. Frost really was laying into Martinez on the sideline after that series. So just it's really a shame to see the regression that Martinez has taken since his freshman year, particularly in the pass game. I don't think the offensive line helped him out, has helped him out greatly, but it's just rough to see him continuing to make mistakes that a quarterback in his 4th year shouldn't be making.
Yeah, so if we look at the rest of the offense, Jack Yant's obviously been worked into the game plan the last several games. 6 carries, 60 yards, had a 33-yard carry. Ramir Johnson, 13 for 52. Are you good with what's going on in terms of running back distribution and reps?
Hey, so yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I thought in the first half of the game, I thought that Nebraska ran the ball on first down the best that they have all season. I've been complaining all year about Nebraska having nothing at all between the tackles on first down, and we've been getting these 1 yard, 2 yard, or loss of yardage plays on first down, and Nebraska was, I think they were averaging close to 7 yards a carry in the first half. They ran the ball great in the first half of the game, and then that kind of just that fizzled away in the second half, partially because then we went down in the score, and then we were trying to make up with throwing passes and we made mistakes in the pass game. But as far as running the ball, I thought they did a great job. Yant had a couple good runs. But I didn't have much of a problem with that. They held on to it.
Yeah, and like you say, the defense, you give up 14 in the first half. You give up single touchdowns in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Purdue's Purdue's a good football team. Are they great? No. They went to Iowa City, won by 17. They lost, of course, last week. They're what they are. They're a 5-3 football team that's beat Oregon State this year. They played a pretty good game at Notre Dame. We're within 1 score with about 5 minutes left. So, it's a capable football team. I was shocked myself that Nebraska was a 7.5 point favorite in this game. That was the standout line for me this week. That's for sure.
I didn't know that until this morning, and somebody told me that, and I said, "There's no way." I said, "If we win this game, it's definitely under." So I mean, that was a lock. But yeah, I mean, Purdue, they're really well coached. They get really creative on offense. They had some really nice plays with the running back coming out of the backfield, just wide open. I thought our secondary was kind of exposed a little bit again, similar to the Minnesota game. It was just extremely soft coverage, even on third and long. You got to come up and make a play at the sticks, and we were giving up massive cushions on 3rd down. And I understand, kind of the bend don't break to a point, but there's got to be a point where you put your foot in the ground, you come up and make a play. And the secondary, a couple of those young corners, they kind of got worked there. I thought that Purdue's quarterback O'Connell did what he was asked to do and get the ball to wide open receivers. And right when they were open, he got them the ball. A couple more sacks would have been nice, and I think that could have opened up a little bit more for us. They were close on a few of them. They hit on 1 or 2, but it was kind of a little bit too late there at the end. That would be my only gripe with the defense was that soft coverage throughout the game.
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell's been in a quarterback battle the entire season. He was not the starter to begin this fall, but took over when Jack Plummer went down. And he's been a pretty capable player. And of course, they've got one of the best wide receivers in the country in David Bell. Even though Nebraska pretty much held him in check in terms of yards per catch, he did catch 9 but for only 74 yards. So they made the tackles in space there.
But yeah, I mean, Nebraska's continued to do that. They've done that all year with the Big Ten's playmakers. They've shut them down. They've shut down Michigan State's running back Kenneth Walker. I mean, he ran for like 200 yards today. Nebraska, I think they allowed like 50 yards to him. They've consistently cued in on these high profile offensive playmakers, and they've done enough to win games. They consistently do enough to win games. Nebraska needs to score 30 points to win a football game, and they just can't do it. They can't do it, and that's what it is. Just the defense consistently, week after week, doing enough, and the offense just not showing up. They really don't have any identity. They don't have something to just lean on. Is what I kind of see. It's kind of just a prayer. At the end of the games, and we've seen how that's worked out. All these close losses, they're in it, but they don't have that identity to lean on and go, win the game.
Appreciate everybody being here. We've got about 60 on the line right now. Alan in particular, we always appreciate your support, letting everyone know that they need to subscribe and hit the thumbs up as well. Kyle is saying here in the live chat, if I'm Logan Smothers, I go to Frost's office tomorrow and tell him I'm transferring. Guy plays that poorly, and I'm not even given a chance, especially after that third pick.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with Smothers going and talking to Frost and saying, look, I want to get out there and help my team. I think I could help my team. I don't know, as far as transferring. I can tell you, if Martinez does come back next year, that I don't know which quarterbacks behind Martinez would stay, because they're not playing. I mean, even if Martinez is playing bad, they're not coming in the game. So at this point, I think they really need to evaluate the quarterback position, right? I think that maybe even this week, Frost needs to know, hey, Adrian, are you coming back next year? What are we doing here? And they need to go forward with something else or something different. I love Martinez as a kid and a leader, but I think that ship has kind of sailed. I think they need to go with something else. And I really think, like they should have done last year, they need to hit the transfer portal hard and get some real competition in there and some guys that can throw to these playmakers that we have at wide receiver, Toure, Betts, Manning. I mean, these guys that have NFL talent that should be making catches.
I think just about the entire fan base that's reasonable would say exactly what you just said. There's a way that you can say this guy, meaning Adrian Martinez, has been a credit to the university. The program has done a fine job. He's worked hard. He's fought through injuries. He's been our quarterback. He's had some high moments, all those things, but he's been the quarterback since 2018?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been Frost's tenure, and
so
Frost could very well go out riding Martinez in this,
Yeah, and I really can't imagine that the fan base is going to be that excited. Well, the fan base is probably not going to be real excited regardless going into next year, just thinking, okay, well, something has to be proven to us before we get excited. But at least with a different quarterback, to have Adrian Martinez come back for a fifth season and to say, is this something we can really be excited about, since we keep seeing the same thing over and over and over, is a tough deal to sell.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I personally, as a fan, at the beginning of this year, I talked to family and friends, and I said, look, if we go into the season and we don't at least shop the transfer portal and get somebody else in here that can come in if Martinez is not doing well, I can't emotionally invest myself as much as a fan this year. And that's what happened. When Luke McCaffrey left Nebraska, we lost a quarterback. Why did we not go after another one? We have Logan Smothers, who has never played at the beginning of the year, who has never played a collegiate snap, who hasn't played football in 3 years. And then you have a freshman from Kearney, Nebraska, that has great potential, but is a freshman and has never played Division I football. So, I mean, you're putting all of your cards, all of your bowl game hopes, 6 wins, on Martinez figuring it out. And he didn't. And now we're stuck.
Ryan's making a comment about Noah Vedral, who transferred, of course, to Rutgers. Now, Noah said he always performed better in practice. Of course, that's coming from Noah Vedral, but I don't know if anyone else said that. Yet he still wasn't starting. I wouldn't be surprised if Smothers transfers. Now, Noah Vedral's not a great quarterback, but certainly he's working with a lot less, decidedly less. I don't want to say it's some ridiculous gap in talent, but it's decidedly less, which he's working with. So if you compare statistics or look at Vedral statistically, you got to keep in mind he's working with less talent around him. And just about every time he hits the field in the Big Ten, actually, yeah, just about every time he's hitting the field in the Big Ten, he's at a very large talent gap. I don't know what you thought of Noah Vedral when he was at Nebraska.
I mean, yeah, Vedral, I think, should have had more chances at Nebraska than he did. I mean, there was many opportunities for him to get more chances when Martinez was struggling, and it just for us for one reason or another, I mean, didn't give him those chances. Vedral's a sound quarterback. He does great. He does enough with his feet. I think he throws the ball well. I think I didn't watch the game, but I saw that they won today. They're now 4-4. I think they beat Illinois, which, I mean, it's Illinois, but we lost to Illinois, and Illinois beat Penn State last week. So, sure. I mean, good win for them and him. I thought he could have had more chances. My other thing, just we keep harping on the quarterback situation, and that's what it is. But if Smothers is your true backup and your number two, and you really think he's good enough to be that guy, then I'm not sure why he didn't get a chance a little bit sooner in this game or throughout maybe this year. I think a lot of other teams, if you look at Oklahoma, I mean, their 5-star quarterback, Spencer Rattler, wasn't getting it done. I mean, sure, they have another 5-star guy right in the holster ready to go, but they have another guy that's capable, has worked hard, and is waiting for his moment. And Nebraska needs to find, if it's not Smothers, they need to go find one or two guys that are that next guy. And, you know, a lot of people that I talk to say, well, nobody wants to come to Nebraska and sit on the bench. And it's not coming in and necessarily sitting on the bench. It's coming and working and working for a starting position. And maybe you don't get it, but at some point in the Big Ten, you know, with how you know, we run the ball and our offense, you're probably going to get a shot at some point. So come work hard and wait for your chance, and you'll have it. I thought that Nebraska could have gone after a couple of really high caliber transfers last year. Mackenzie Milton, and the one guy I really would have liked to go after is Tyler. I think you pronounce it Shuck from
Yep.
Oregon. Man, I mean, what a get he would have been. And we showed zero interest. And if Frost mentality is just to ride this Martinez train until the wheels fall off, the wheels are falling off, and he's going to be going with it. So it's rough.
Yeah, just to show you the standard at Oklahoma, you know, Spencer Rattler was not playing poorly. He wasn't playing great. He wasn't playing like a Heisman winner. But they knew that to go where they want to go, they have another caliber quarterback at that level that they can go to. And Spencer Rattler got shown the bench. Noah Vedral's hitting on 63% of his passes this year, 7 touchdowns and 3 picks. So you're not going to light it up as the Rutgers quarterback, but he's taking care of the ball. And they've won 4 games.
Right. It's just Nebraska was progressing this year, right? They lost to Oklahoma, Michigan State, and Michigan, all top 10 teams, undefeated teams until today. But they lost to those 3 teams by a combined 13 points. They were right there. They were battling. And then Minnesota, and it was just no energy and nothing. And you know, okay, I understand you're beaten up. You just gave everything you could to Michigan, and you're a little bit down, and you know, that was your down game, and you lose to Minnesota. But
Now you got a bye week. You had 2 weeks, get everyone healthy. You got a home game versus Purdue. Come out there and win the game, and your season's, you still got some hopes for the rest of the season. And they did nothing. They had 2 weeks to prepare for today, and the offense was just absolutely sputtering in the third quarter. I think we probably had at one point we had 3 drives in the third quarter with a total of -5 yards after 3 possessions. So just absolutely sputtering in the second half. And like I said, they had a chance to win today. Obviously, you're not going to beat Ohio State, but Wisconsin is not their best, is not the Wisconsin of past, even though they rolled Iowa today. I think Iowa is vulnerable and up for the beating right now. But at this point, I don't know, and West Nebraska really comes out with some fire if they win another one this year, which is crazy to think about 3-9. And really at that point, I mean, I don't want to talk about firing the head coach, but at that point, if you go 3-9, I think the head coach has to, make some changes around him and put his foot down and say, look, we're not gonna do this anymore. And I he's got to change some things up, or he's gonna probably be on his way out too.
Yeah, starting in the second half, the string of series you're talking about, 9 yards gained in a punt, interception, -10 yards punt, 29 yards punt, 2 yards punt, interception. Those are 2, 4, 6, 8 consecutive series. That's a lot of football.
Yeah, I mean, so what are we doing? I mean, at halftime, are we just going in there and patting each other on the back and saying, let's keep doing this, or are we looking at what the defense is giving us and making some changes and coming out with something different? I mean, I said this week, I remember one time we ran a jet sweep to Xavier Betts, and it went for like 85 yards, and I haven't seen a jet sweep like since that. I don't know why Frost goes away from some of these things and some of these plays and they work really well. And then we go away from them. And then we see teams that play us and they do these things that work really well, and they do it play after play after play until we stop it. So it's just, it's really mind boggling sometimes. And I don't want to claim to be, a better play caller or seeing things that he's not, but sometimes the decisions that we make on offense is just really mind-boggling to me.
Got Chris Wall here. You can join his Twitter page where he obviously loves Nebraska football. It's called Husker Hype. So just join him on Twitter right there, Husker Hype. I'll put the banner up right here. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We got 125 folks on the line. I'm going to turn it over to Chris. He's going to take it home from here. Chris, whatever you want to do in regards to any other analysis and the questions that are coming in. So I appreciate you being here and everybody else. We got a Tuesday night show as well at 7 o'clock Central Time. Would love everyone to join on Tuesday night at 7 Central, Nebraska live show. Hey, Chris, appreciate you being here, sir.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Yeah, guys. So thanks for being on. I'm gonna wrap this up soon, but just with some final thoughts. I mean, coming into today with this game in Purdue, I mean, I think we've said this almost every single week, even starting in week 1 with Illinois. It was a must win, right? And then you lost, and then we go next week and it's a must win, and we've continued to do this, and really today, to still hang on to any hopes of getting to 6 wins, which, I mean, even if you won today, I mean, it's probably not happening, but you had to win today. And how are you not up for today? I mean, it's beautiful. You're in Memorial. You're off a bye week. You got to go get refreshed, hang out, play Xbox. and there's just nothing. There was nothing. Um, like I said, I mean, we lost by 1 score, but I mean, forget about that. I mean, in my mind, we scored 17 points in that game. The second half, we were virtually shut out. There was no offense. There was nothing. There was no interior run. Yant running east west and bumbling for -1 yards. Just Martinez sailing passes, standing in the pocket for 5 seconds, doing nothing. It's the same thing week after week, and it's looking at Nebraska Twitter this past 2 weeks. It's sad, but there's no excitement for the game because we see the writing on the wall, right? I mean, we were up 17-14, and you just knew it probably wasn't going to work for us. Martinez with that 2nd and 1, taking that sack, have a really nice punt, pin them down there on the 3, defense 3 and out. They have a poor punt. We catch it, return it to their 40. So essentially, our defense and special teams move the ball 30 yards for us, and then just we sputter and we do nothing. It's extremely frustrating. It's not worth a lot of people's time to watch anymore, unfortunately. And there's got to be some changes. So I see somebody made a comment that I have not watched Frost's post-game conference, but somebody said that he's sticking with Martinez, and I don't know if I agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it. Not versus Ohio State. But it doesn't surprise me. I don't know if it would surprise anyone else that he's sticking with Martinez. He's stuck with Martinez since anyone can remember. And it's just crazy that he's willing to maybe let this be his demise. I don't know why you wouldn't. If you trust your backup, right, and you trust your coaches who are developing that room, why don't you give that guy a shot? I'm gonna look at the chat here in the comments. Keep Frost and Martinez will be there in 2022, and they will still not make a bowl. Hope that's not true, Eddie. Yeah, as far as next year, I don't know. I think Frost will be here, in my opinion, even if we win 3 games this year. At the beginning of the year, my prediction for this season was 6-6. I mean, people were throwing out, there's no way we don't win 7 games or 8 games. And I knew, looking at the schedule and Martinez's ability to, not produce in crunch time, I knew that it was going to be a struggle at times. I didn't think it would be this hard. I thought we would beat Illinois. I thought we would beat Purdue. I thought we had a good chance of beating Minnesota. But if they go 3-9, like, how do you move on with everyone? How are you just like, all right, we're good, we'll persevere and we'll be all right next year. We'll bring everyone back and we'll just do the same thing. I mean, you can't. So there's got to be some people that are not there next year. And if Martinez is there again next year, who wants to be the backup? I mean, I guess it's his last year, right? So it has to be his last year. So maybe at that point you have some motivation to come in and play and work hard, because the following year you have a good shot of being the starter. That'd be the only thing, though. If Martinez comes back next year, you're not playing. There's I don't care who you bring in, which is frustrating. So, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't agree with it. Not versus Ohio State. I mean, people were throwing out, there's no way we don't win 7 games or 8 games. And Looking at the chat here. Thanks for getting on here, guys. It was a struggle for me to pull myself on here and chat about this the past couple weeks, but I'm really trying to not let this ruin my college football, because I mean it does, right? You watch this crap, and then I mean you got Ohio State and Penn State on that. You want to enjoy it, but it's just like Nebraska is the worst team in the Big Ten. Incredible. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see what they say, but at the same time, I'm probably not going to listen to any of the press conferences and the Monday post practice and Tuesday post player interviews, because it's the same stuff, right? It's we're right there, and it's one or two plays. But it was a lot of plays today. And if you really think about it, if you take away the Martinez pick six, if he has a better throw to Toure, I mean that's 14 points in itself. Just those two plays, and one guy's doing that. So I'm not sure where they go offensively the rest of the year, because there has been and there was still no identity today. Like I said, the only positive that I saw in the offense was the run game on first down in the first half. I also think it's really fun when Omar Manning gets the ball. And then, like I touched on earlier with Mark, I don't know why we go away from things that work so well, like that jet sweep sometimes, or passes to the tight end. Did we attempt one pass to Vokalek today, and it was that weird shuffle pass? Like, I don't know. Yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap it up. Another one-score loss, 0-6 this year, and one-score losses. Ohio State next week, then a bye, and then at Wisconsin, at home for Iowa. So looks like Iowa will be our bowl game again this year. Thanks again for jumping on here, guys, and joining me. I hope you have a good rest of the day. Enjoy college football as best you can, and go Big Red.